What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday edition of 4th and 25 with Jram. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday. Stay safe out there. Hope you're enjoying your day. uh, Before we get started, of course, first and foremost, we continue to think about the people in Texas recovering from the flooding. Unfortunately, it looks like there's more flooding going on close to the same area, but we're keeping those people in our thoughts and prayers. All the flooding that's been going on in New Mexico, Iowa, Oklahoma, Carolinas, all those areas. Guys, we're thinking about y'all and praying for you. All right, so didn't get to do this yesterday because of some situations, but here we are today for a Sunday show. So before we get to our main topic, I was going to talk about this last night, but obviously it's didn't happen. So if you watch WWE, last night was Saturday night's main event, and we saw the final match of the legend Bill Goldberg. Um, it is what it is. At 58 years old, I don't know what the expectations were for everybody, but I thought he did the best he could with his limitations. Thank you, Goldberg. Thank you for an amazing career, making my childhood awesome in many ways, watching so many of your matches over the years and watching you destroy people. So congrats to you. Wish you a happy retirement. Uh, Prayers to Seth Rollins. That looked like a nasty injury to his knee. Don't know how long he's going to be out or anything, but sending our best well wishes to Seth Rollins. All right, so let's get rolling with our main stuff. So first things first, in the NFL, I wanted to give a shout out to a team for some throwback uniforms. We're going to talk about an alternate helmet for my team that made the internet last week that supposedly might be coming this season. So the Washington Commanders, or some of us still say the Redskins, are bringing these babies back. They are bringing these babies back. I think it's 3 games. I think it's 2 Sunday night games and then one other game. I think it's 3 total. But this is so cool, seeing these uniforms again, going back to the Mark Riffin days, the Darryl Green days, Clinton Portis, the Super Bowl winning teams and back in the good old days. But it's so cool to see these uniforms coming back. I love these. So cool. And it actually even fits with that W, so it is what it is, man. But these are so sharp. I like these. So kudos to Washington. Looking forward to seeing these again this coming season. Maybe they'll wear them more often because they're way better than what they've been wearing the last couple of years. But awesome, awesome uniforms. So shout out to Washington. Looking forward to seeing that. Okay, so the other thing in the NFL uniform I wanted to talk about. Oh, there's Ian. Hey, Ian. Love that the Commanders are bringing these back. Yes, sir. Agreed. Agreed, man. Agreed. Looking forward to that. Okay, so my team, the New Orleans Saints, apparently got some alternate helmets coming this year, and the same guy I just mentioned, Ian, was the first to share these. Appreciate you getting this out there to me. So here we go. We've got a white helmet with a gold face mask. I love that New Orleans on the bottom there. Of course, the traditional gold helmets have it too, but that's just so cool. Got a nice gold and black stripe down the center, and here's the other picture I got. So I don't know what games, but apparently these are coming this season. I don't know if it's one game or a couple games, but I don't know what uniform you're wearing with, unless you do it for an away game with the white unis. But still pretty cool though, as a Saints fan. Usually, and I'm pretty traditionalist on stuff, on uniforms and everything, but I like these. These are pretty cool. So hopefully we will see these sometime in the 2025 season. Because I think Adam Schefter of ESPN was the one that broke it. So, but these look really cool. So I'm super excited to see these. All right. So that is our NFL talk for the day. All right. So the main thing we're here for today, we're gonna do my top 10, my preseason top 10 players for each position, plus my G5 best player of the G5 that's on each team at the positions. Now, usually you would start with quarterbacks and work your way to the end. I'm going to go backwards and do quarterbacks last. So, our first and foremost is we're going to start with our all-purpose guys. returners, receivers, guys that do it all. Okay, so here we go. Jrams preseason top 10 all-purpose players. Just missing the top 10 is our G5 best. This is Cam Thomas of UTEP. He had a 532 yards receiving. He had a couple of touchdowns, averaged 20 yards on each punt return, and he got him a score there. Good returnman, good receiver. I think he runs it. He might run the ball too. But nice little weapon there for the Miners to keep an eye out for. We'll see what he does this coming season. Okay, number 10, Xavier Thomas of LSU. He catches, he runs, returns punts, averaged 26 yards of kick return, had a touchdown, caught 2 touchdowns. Also, like I said, run the ball. Another good do-it-all SEC weapon. And just like his teammate that you see up there, we'll get to him in just a minute. At number 9, we've got Micaiah Lemon of USC. This cat had 514 yards returning kicks, 27 yard average. Also, 700 plus yards receiving, 3 touchdowns, 14.7 yards a catch last year. He'll be a nice little weapon for USC and for the quarterback to get the ball to. He does a little bit of it all for the Trojans. Number 8, a guy that you're going to see again on another position list here in a little while, Nicholas Singleton of Penn State. He is, of course, a star-studded running back, 1,000 plus yards, 12 touchdowns. He had 375 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns, averaged almost 24 yards a return on his kickoffs. And I think he returns punts too. So he is a definition of a do-it-all guy. Number 7, we head to the ACC, and a school you're not probably going to hear much about, but Devin Claiborne of Wake Forest. This young man, 1,000-yard rusher, 11 touchdowns, 4.6 yards a return. Caught 2 scores, had 254 receiving yards, had a kick return touchdown. He totaled over 1,500 scrimmage yards and 14 scores for the Demon Deacons last season. He can definitely do it all. Might be the best weapon they got. So Jake Dicker got him a nice little offensive weapon for year number 1 for him at Winston-Salem for the Deacons. Okay, number 6, a player that I have followed since his days at Texas State, Ismail Mahdi. He had 2,300 rushing yards the last 2 years in Texas State, 44 catches, returns kicks, returns punts. Very good weapon, was one of the Sun Belt's best players. Jumped in the portal, and you see he's at Arizona now. So, Brent Brennan, you better use this man good, because he is a do-it-all playmaker, and he should definitely help your team out. Number 5, Zachariah Branch of Georgia. I think he comes over from USC too. 500 plus receiving yards, and also a very solid returner on kicks and punts. Number 4, our other LSU player, another transfer, Barian Brown. He's from Kentucky. He transferred to LSU this offseason. He was definitely the Cats' best playmaker. Seems like he was underutilized. He had 300 plus receiving yards, 3 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, ran a kickoff back for a score, averaged almost 25 yards a return. But definitely will be a good playmaker for the Tigers this fall. At number 3, Isaac Brown of Louisville, another guy you're going to see again here in a little while. 1,100 plus rushing yards, 11 scores, 7.1 yards per carry. Had a receiving touchdown, averaged 17.5 yards on kick and punt returns. Very good weapon, do it all. Number 2, Josh Cameron of Baylor. This young man had 700 plus receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, 14.5 yards a catch. He had 200 plus punt return yards, returns kicks. Very versatile playmaker and the best in the Big 12 as of right now in the preseason, in my opinion. And finally, my number 1 all-purpose player from Pitt, Desmond Reed. This man can do it all. He's maybe the best definition of do-it-all playmaker. 962 yards, 5 touchdowns, rushing the ball, 5.3 a carry, 578 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. He had 159 punt return yards and a touchdown. So, he ended the year with 10 total touchdowns 3 ways. But he might even take snaps in the Wildcat for all I know. But great runner, good catcher, reliable returner. He is my number 1 all-purpose player entering the 2025 season. Okay, so next up, let's move to our special teams. Yes, I'm going to do punters and kickers because they are players too, regardless of what some may think. Special teams is important. Alright, so here we go. Our all-purpose guys. There's my punters. Okay, let's top my punters. At number, as we get into the punters list, our G5 best punter comes from Miami, Ohio, and we know Chuck Martin prioritizes special teams for the Red Hawks. He was a kicker only the last couple of years, but he had 26 starts in 2021 and 2022 as a punter, 42.4 yard average, 41 punts pinned inside the 20-yard line. So very reliable, and now he's back as a punter and a kicker. All right. Number 10, you see it here, Tyler White of Texas A&M. Almost a 45-yard average, 25 of his 46 kicks landed inside the 20 last season. Number 9 for the ACC, Cade Reynoldson of Duke. Almost 44-yard average per kick, 27 of his punts went inside the 20-yard line. Number 8, Bryce McPherson of Maryland. 45.1 yard average, 21 of his punts went inside the 20 last year also. Number 7, don't know for sure if this guy's going to be the starter because their punter's back, but they picked this cat up in the portal because he was so good. James Ferguson Reynolds of Oregon. He's the Boise State transfer. He averaged 45 yards a kick, 15 inside the 20 in the last 3 years for Boise. Long punt of 71 yards. Kid's got a great leg. But as of right now, he's the number 2 punter. But I do have him on this list because obviously he was such a weapon for the Broncos. And surely he's going to see the field. Number 6, Atticus Bertrams of Wisconsin. By the way, guys, I apologize. If I screw any of these young men's names up, I'm sorry if I butcher them because some of them are obviously going to be hard to pronounce. But number 6, Atticus Bertrams of Wisconsin. He averaged 45.3 yard average, 29 of his 55 kicks also landed inside the 20. That's over half of his punts. Number 5 in the SEC, Jack Baumeister of Texas. He's a Utah transfer. While he was at Utah, 39 starts, 50 of his punts went inside the 20, and last year he averaged almost 45 yards a kick. Good leg. Number 4, a school that knows a lot about punters and special teams, Iowa. Rice Dakin, I hope I said that name right. True freshman last year, he was incredible, sensational. 44.1 yard average, 29 punts landed inside the 20. Of course, like I say, Iowa, they know a thing or two about special teams. Number 3, Palmer Williams of Baylor. 49.3 yard average, 15 of his punts went inside the 20 last season. Very versatile weapon for the Bears. Number 2, Brett Thorson of Georgia, 47.6 yard average, so almost 48 yards a kick. 22 punts went inside the 20, got a great leg. Helps the Dogs with the field position battle every time he takes the field. And my number 1 punter entering the preseason, Ryan Eckley of Michigan State. In 2 years, career average 47.2 yard average, and last year he averaged 48 yards a kick, 6 inside the 20. Great leg. Jonathan Smith at least has a weapon in his special teams unit. You can make an argument for Brett or Palmer, I think, at number 1, but like I say, any of these are good punters. But this is my top 10 punters list. Okay, moving up in special teams, we'll go to the kickers. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Okay, kickers. Top 10 kickers. In group of 5, guys. Group of 5, again, same guy. We just talked about him on the punters list. At Miami, Ohio, Dom Dizelband. I hope I said that right. 26 of 30 on his field goals. Only missed 1 extra point. First team All-MAC last year. Great leg. Number 10, and by the way, that's G5 next best because as you see, San Diego State's punter is number 10. And number 10, Gabriel Placencia of San Diego State. Guy missed 1 field goal, 13 of 14, long of 50, 18 and 19 extra points. Best kicker in the Mountain West entering the season. Number 9, our another transfer. We've got Lucas Carnerio of Ole Miss. He was first team I believe, All-American last year, if I'm not mistaken, at Western Kentucky. He hit 18 and 19 field goals, long of 56 yards, and he didn't miss an extra point. Dude's got a great leg, and now he's in the SEC, and we'll see what he does for Lane Kiffin and the Rebels. At number 8, again, seems like we're always going to find Iowa on these special teams list. Drew Stevens, one of America's most reliable kickers, made all his extra points, 20 of 23 field goals, 5 of 5 from 40 to 49, long of 54 yards. Number 7, we've got Lath Majoran, I hope I said that right, of Kansas. He's a South Alabama transfer. He was second team All Sun Belt last season. He hit 16 to 17 field goals, 42 to 44 on extra points, long of 49. He takes his leg talents to the Big 12. Number 6, Trey Smack of Florida. Another great leg, 18 to 21 on field goals, long of 55. Made all of his extra points. Be another good weapon in the Gators special teams unit. At number 5, we got Brock Taylor of Vanderbilt on this list. 18 to 21 last year, long of 57. 5 of 6 from 50-plus yards as well. Great leg. Clark Lee will be very glad to have him back. Number 4, Colin Rogers of SMU. Let's see, long of 55. He was 24 of 33 on his field goals, so he could be a little bit questioning, but when he's accurate and on, he's on. Made all his extra points. Number 3, the other reliable leg in Athens, Georgia, Peyton Woodring. Young man was clutch, 21 to 23 on field goals, long of 55, perfect 48 to 48 on his extra points. Number 2, we got Will Farron of BYU on here, 24 of 27 on field goals. He was 6 of 7 from 40, 49, 4 of 5 from 50 plus, 50 and plus. Just one extra point. First team Big 12, all Big 12. And my number 1 kicker, Dominic Zavada of Michigan, 21 to 22 on his field goals, long of 56. Didn't miss one from 50 plus yards, 7 of 7. That's pretty good. And then 26 to 27 on his extra points. Obviously a great weapon for Michigan. So that is my top 10 kickers list, guys. Alrighty. Now, we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we'll jump into our top 10 defensive players for each position. See y'all in a minute.
Look at me, I'm lost at sea, circling eternally. Come and help me from this insanity. Where am I disgrace? I hate to see your face. I wanna see you drown in your sorrow. You know I know I'm not the same. I'm fading away. I'm falling into my grave.
Alright guys, welcome back to 4th and 25 with Jram. Alright, so we just finished up our top 10 special teams players, kickers, punters, and all-purpose. Let's move to our defense, shall we? Alright, we're going to do defensive backs. We'll start with defensive backs. My G5 number 1 player from the DBs is Jacob Thomas of James Madison. 72 tackles last year, 7.5 tackles for loss, 3 pass breakups, 3 interceptions. Very good ball hawk, great cover skills, tough to defend against in the passing game. He is my number 1 G5 defensive back. Okay, so we move into the top 10. Number 10, Jeremiah Cooper of Iowa State. Just one of the Big 12's premier guys. Arguably the best Big 12 DB coming back. 48 tackles, 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. And of course, as we know, Iowa State has a history of producing good defensive players. Number 9, this young man kind of came on the scene last year at Duke and expected to be one of the ACC's best this coming season. Chandler Rivers at Duke, 54 tackles, even got him a sack, 6.5 tackles for loss, 8 passes broken up, 3 interceptions, and 3 quarterback hurries. Could end up being one of the best DBs in the country for the years over with. And he still may not get looked at highly because he's at Duke, but still a great player. I think he had a pick six in the Gator Bowl against Ole Miss last year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe somebody else. Anyway, number 8, Dylan Thieneman. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Of Oregon. Purdue transfer, second team All Big Ten last year. Spent 2 years with the Boilermakers, had 210 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 9 passes broken up, and 6 interceptions. Phenomenal DB, great cover skills. Could end up being one of the country's best when the season's over as well. Was a huge pickup for Oregon in the transfer portal. I hate it for Purdue, but it is what it is. Number 7, we head to Clemson with Avian Terrell. He had 64 tackles last season, 3.5 tackles for loss, a sack, 13 passes broken up, 2 interceptions. Another long list of great defensive players to come from Clemson. At number 6, keeping it in the ACC actually, Isaiah Nwokabita of SMU. This cat had 100 tackles, half a sack, 3 tackles for loss, 3 passes broken up, 3 interceptions, and 2 quarterback hurries. This cat was a tackling machine for the Mustangs and is expected to obviously do the same again this fall for him. Phenomenal player. Number 5, we got Dalian Everett of Georgia, of course. 58 tackles, a sack, a tackle for loss, 3 passes broken up. He also had 3 interceptions last season and a quarterback hurry. Georgia, of course, wasn't quite their Georgia self on defense at times last year, but this cat is expected to lead a improvement. Number 4, sticking in the SEC, we've got Jermaine McCoy of Tennessee. Cat had 44 tackles, 9 passes broken up, 4 interceptions. One of the bright stars in Tennessee's returners. This cat is a ball hawk. He can make plays, so I'm sure Josh Heupel is happy to have him back for one more year. Number 3, we got Michael Taffy at Texas. 78 tackles, 2 sacks, 3.5 tackles for loss, 10 passes broken up, and 2 interceptions. One of the premier DBs in the country, expected to take even a bigger step forward for the Longhorns this coming fall. Number 2, we got Leonard Moore of Notre Dame. 48 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 11 passes broken up. He had 2 picks in a hurry. Just a sensational player and expected to help lead what should be a really good Notre Dame defense this fall. And number 1, I don't think this is a big surprise, but number 1, Caleb Downs of Ohio State. 82 tackles last season, 7 tackles for loss, 6 passes broken up, 2 interceptions in a hurry. The former Alabama player, one of the country's best, and he come back to chase him another national title, apparently. All right, so we're going to continue on and move to our linebackers. Let's do our linebackers list, shall we? All right, my best of the G5 at linebacker. Red Murdoch of Buffalo, first team All-MAC last year. This is another tackling machine, 156 tackles, 2 sacks, 14.5 tackles for loss, 4 hurries, a pick and a pass broke up. Dude is all over the field. Whoever's got the ball, he's coming for him. If you watch the MAC and you watch Buffalo, you'll see what I'm talking about. Dude's a machine. And currently my preseason number 1 linebacker in the G5. I almost put Jason Henderson from Old Dominion back on here, but obviously Jason Henderson fought injuries last year, and it put a damper on his 2024 season, but for now I've got Red Murdoch there. Okay, number 10, we go to the Big 12, Keaton Thomas of Baylor. 114 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, got him a pick and 3 hurries last year. Expected to be the leader and the vocal leader of that defense. Number 9, we go to Georgia with C.J. Allen. 76 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 4 passes broken up, a pick, and 5 quarterback hurries. Expected to be one of the SEC's best again. Number 8, in the Big 12, we've got Austin Romaine at Kansas State. Kind of off the radar maybe. Some people probably don't know who this kid is because they probably ain't watched Kansas State. But 96 tackles, 2 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss, 2 passes broken up, 4 quarterback hurries. He was second team All Big 12 last season, and I think he's going to be one of the best in the country when the year's over, personally. Kid's a phenomenal linebacker to watch. Which brings us to another one in the Big 12. Feels like he's been at the school for a long time now, but Jacob Rodriguez of Texas Tech. This guy, 126 tackles, 5 sacks, 5.5 tackles for loss. He broke up 4 passes, had a pick, and 5 hurries. Like I said, I think he's been there 5 years, it feels like, but dude is one of the country's best linebackers. Wouldn't be shocked if he's a Buckus Award finalist at the end of the season for the Red Raiders. And number 6, in the Big Ten, we look at Gabe Jacobs of Illinois. 74 tackles, had 8 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, and 10 quarterback hurries. Expected to be one of the leaders on Brett Bielema's defense. He is absolutely phenomenal to watch for their line. At number 5, headed back to Ohio State, we've got Sonny Styles, another machine. 100 tackles. He had 6 sacks last season, 4.5 tackles for loss, 5 passes broken up. Expected to be one of the leaders in a somewhat rebuilt Ohio State defense. At number 4, Kyle Lewis of Pitt, another linebacker you may not hear much about or not talk much about because of where he is, but this cat is arguably the ACC's best. 101 tackles, 7 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, 3 broke up passes, 4 interceptions, and 9 hurries. Expected to lead a 1-2 punch. I can't believe I didn't put the other one on here from Pitt, but that's okay. But he's expected to lead what should be a really good linebacking core for the Panthers. At number 3, young man who kind of came on the scene last season at LSU, Whit Weeks, 125 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 6.5 tackles for loss, 3 passes broken up, picks, 6 quarterback hurries. Obviously, Harold Perkins will be back for LSU. Let's just see if he can stay healthy. If he's healthy, Harold Perkins and Whit Weeks together at linebacker could give LSU the nastiest 1-2 linebacker combo in the country. So keep an eye on that. But I got Whit Weeks at number 3. He is incredible, and he is going to be a treat to watch. At number 2, Suntarine Perkins of Ole Miss, 60 tackles, 10.5 sacks last year. Kind of broke out last season. 3.5 tackles for loss, got him a pick and 9 hurries. Phenomenal player, and his stock's only going to rise. I think he's only going to get better for the Rebels. And at number 1, my number 1 linebacker entering the season, Anthony Hill Jr. of Texas. 113 tackles, 8 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss last year. Pass broke up, a pick, and 4 quarterback hurries. Expected to lead what should be a very good linebacking group also for the Longhorns. Okay, now we're going to move on to defensive line. Yep, okay. So, G5 best. I put Trey White of San Diego State, as you see. 60 tackles, 12.5 sacks. He was after that quarterback. 6 tackles for loss, 2 passes broken up, 10 quarterback hurries. Honorable mention last year for All-American, too, for the Aztecs. So, he's my group of 5 best. At number 10, David Bailey of Texas Tech, a portal addition. He comes over from Stanford. He had 31 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, a pass broke up, 8 hurries for Stanford last year. One of the numerous portal additions for Texas Tech. At number 9, Rayshon Berry of Michigan, 29 tackles, and 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 2 passes broken up, 4 quarterback hurries. Wasn't on the field as much as some of these other guys, but he's going to take on a bigger role this year and should be really, really good. Number 8, Caleb Banks of Florida, 21 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2.5 tackles for loss, a pass broke up, and 6 hurries. Another one that kind of came on really good toward the latter part of the season. At number 7, Aaron Graves of Iowa, 33 tackles. He had 6 sacks, 6 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 3 passes broken up, 2 hurries. One of the Big Ten's best defensive linemen and good at terrorizing quarterbacks and ball carriers. At number 6, we head to the Big 12 with Cincinnati and Dante Carleone. Hope I said that name right. 26 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 1.5 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hurries. 2-time All Big 12 performer for the Bearcats. And would like to go out on a good note and try to help get this program back to the postseason. Kind of off the radar, too, because of where he is, but he should be really, really good. Number 5, we've got Zane Durant of Penn State. 42 tackles, 3 sacks, 8 tackles for loss last year, a pass broke up, and 4 quarterback hurries. Penn State, of course, numerous toys on that defensive line. Number 4, we got Colin Simmons of Texas, 48 tackles, 9 sacks, a sacking machine, 5 tackles for loss, a pass broke up, a pick, and 9 quarterback hurries. One of the country's best entering the season at Texas. At number 3, our top 3 are all in the same state. At number 3, we've got Peter Woods of Clemson. He had 3 sacks, 32 tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, and 5 quarterback hurries as expected to work aside another Clemson stud on that line, which we'll talk about in just a second. Number 2, only a sophomore, but this dude's a freak of nature. Dylan Stewart of South Carolina, 23 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. A pass broke up and 4 hurries last season. And remember, he's only a sophomore. This dude, if he can avoid the injury bug or hype and just do his thing, he's going to terrorize people again this fall for the Gamecocks. And at number 1, TJ Parker of Clemson, 64 tackles, 11 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss, a pass broke up, and 13 quarterback hurries. Him and Peter Woods give Clemson a very mean 1-2 punch this coming season. L-O-G-O-D or L-A-G-O-D. Well, hello there. Alright, so yeah, the state of South Carolina represented really well there. 1, 2, 3 on this defensive lineman list. Alright, guys, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll move over to the offensive side of the ball and give you my top 10 players for each of the offensive positions. See you in a little bit. Alright guys, welcome back to 4th and 25 with Jrams. Alright, so we've done special teams and we've done defense. Now, let's move over to my preseason top 10 offensive player rankings. We're going to start with the big boys up front who make it all possible. The part of the ball that I played when I was in high school. Offensive linemen. Here we go. Oh, alright. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Top 10 and next G5 best offensive line. As you see, there's 2 G5 guys. So my G5 next best is Shadre Hurst of Tulane. He's had 22 starts the last 2 years. First team American Athletic Conference, all conference. Great blocker. Opened up lanes for Micaiah Hughes, even though he's now at Oregon, but should be have another solid season. At number 10, we got our Cage Casey of Boise State, who I believe was on the Walter Camp preseason first-team All-American. Second-team All-American last year. Best O-line in the Mountain West. Multi-season starter. Helped pave the way for that machine, Ashton Jenny, last year when he was running the ball. So definitely going to be a good one. And NFL potential is drooling out of him. At number 9, we got Keelan Rutledge of Georgia Tech. He started all 13 games last year. First team All-ACC, honorable mention All-American. Helped as best as he could at protecting Haynes King and their running attack. So, phenomenal lineman. Number 8, at Miami, we've got Francis Malagoa. I hope I said that right. Oh, sorry, I was reading a comment, guys. My apologies. Okay. Francis Malagoa of Miami, 26 starts, great blocker, second team All-Conference last season. Going to have the job of trying to protect Carson Beck this coming season. At number 7, you see a duo there from Oregon. We've got Isaiah World and then Emmanuel Pregnon. Both are transfers. They were huge gets for the Ducks. Pregnon had 36 starts the last 3 years at Wyoming, and then last year at USC. Isaiah World was the #1, I believe, transfer portal player in the rankings. He comes out of Nevada and joins this team. So that right there brings you 51 starts. So plenty of experience. So should help Oregon's offensive line overcome their departures. At number 6, we've got Armaji Reed Adams of Texas A&M. 15 starts, 32 games in 3 years when he was at Kansas. He transferred to A&M last season. Started 12 games. Solid group around him. Should help open holes for Le'Veon Moss in that offense, barring injury. Great SEC lineman. Number 5, we got Blake Milner of Clemson. 28 starts last 2 years, all conference player as well. Another one of the premier linemen in the country returning. At number 4, Olivia Vega Lowen of Penn State. 21 starts. He started every game last season for the Nittany Lions, second team all conference. Should be even better this year. NFL stock going up for him. At number 3, we got Caden Green of Missouri. Started all 13 games last year. He also had 5 starts at Oklahoma in 2023. Expected to be one of the SEC's premier linemen. Number 2, we head out to Utah, and Spencer Fano, 25 starts last 2 years, second team All-American, first team Big 12 last season. Another one whose NFL stock is really, really high. He'll be Dampier, the new quarterback, Devin Dampier, who transferred to Utah from New Mexico, will be very happy to have him protecting him. And my number 1 offensive lineman, Caden Proctor of Alabama, 25 starts in his career, second team All SEC last year. Should have another great season in Tuscaloosa blocking. All right, so moving up, we're going to go to centers. I did do centers and offensive line separate for this set. All right, let me find my real quick. Let me find my centers list. I just had it. Sounds like I'm saying centers. My apologies. Okay, where did you go? There it is. Okay, my centers list. All right, my number 10 center. Best of the G5. We head to the MAC with Alex Paget of Bowling Green. 17 games, first 2 years. He has 29 starts. Leads an offensive line that still paved the way for 123 yards rushing a game, even against the likes of Penn State and Texas A&M. Really good blocker. Eddie George got him a nice little experienced veteran to lead his group. Okay. All right. Number 10, we've got Pete Niger of Louisville. He has 36 career starts at Northern Illinois and then at Louisville last season. One of the ACC's best. Really good blocker as well. Number 9, we've got Drew Bobo of Georgia. 2 starts, 20 games played last 2 years. Ready to step up and lead the Dogs' offensive line. At number 8, we've got Connor Liu of Auburn. This youngster, 18 starts in 2 years, all 12 games last season. Stock is on the rise. Number 7 from the G5. My apologies to Bowling Green guys. Next best of G5. At number 7, we've got Brady Small of Army, returning from the Joe Moore award-winning offensive line at Army, which was incredible last year. They only allowed 6 sacks, and their rushing attack averaged 301 yards a game. Phenomenal player. Army is blessed to have this young man who is a great center. At number 6, we got James Brockemeyer of Miami. He's a TCU transfer. 12 starts last year, was all conference, and 14 games played back in 2023 was at Alabama. Looking to finish his career on a good note with the Canes. Great quarterback. Number 5, we got Bryce Foster of Kansas. 24 starts, 12 at KU last year. He's an all-conference player too. Number 4, we've got Oregon center Iapani Lolalu. Started every game last year. 12 of them were at center. One expected to be another one of the Big Ten's best. At number 3, a school well known for producing centers, Iowa. Logan Jones, 5th-year senior. one of America's best, sometimes most overlooked players. 38 starts, 40 games played last 4 years. About as experienced as it gets right there, folks. Number 2, I've got Parker Brailsford of Alabama, another one of the country's best. 28 starts last 2 years. Came from Washington in 2023 to Bama last year. First team All-American, phenomenal center. And my number 1, Jake Slaughter of Florida, All-SEC lineman, 21 starts, 26 games. Anchors a very talented veteran unit up front for the Gators. All right, so that's it on the offensive line group. Now we're going to move over to tight ends. We're going to rank the best tight ends in the country in preseason ranking edition. Let's see, top 10 tight ends. Gotta find my stuff here. Here we go. Okay. All right, moving over to tight ends. Our G5 best comes from the MAC, Blake Bosma of Western Michigan. Last year, he had 6 touchdown catches, 10.9 a catch, 37 catches, 403 yards, and 6 touchdowns. At number 10, we got Jack Velling of Michigan State. In his first 2 years at Oregon State, had 700 plus yards. And last year for Michigan State, he had a 411-yard season, averaged 11.4 yards per catch for the Spartans. So he knows Coach Jonathan Smith very, very well. Number 9, we've got Daquan Wright of Ole Miss, one of the returning weapons for Austin Simmons to get the ball to. 394 yards, 4 touchdowns, almost 15 yards a catch last year. Number 8, Michael Trigg of Baylor, who is actually a former Ole Miss player, but he was at USC before that. At Baylor last season, he was all-conference, 30 catches, 395, 3 touchdowns, averaged 13.2 per catch. At number 7, staying in the Big 12, we got Joe Royer of Cincinnati. This man had a 500-plus yard receiving season, 3 touchdowns, 10.4 yards a catch. First team All-Big 12 last season. Number 6, a school that has produced its share of good tight ends recently, Georgia. Oscar Delp, he had a 248-yard, 4-touchdown season, 11.8 per catch last year. Expected to take even better role. At number 5, we got Jack Andrews of Texas. He comes over from Cal, where in 2 years at Cal he had 26 games, 1,000 yards receiving, 11 yards catch. Was a good weapon for the Golden Bears, and now he brings his talents to Austin and gives Arch Manning another weapon to get the football to. At number 4, one that's probably going to get a little overlooked, but I've got him up pretty high because of what he's done recently. Justin Jolly of NC State. He comes over with 661 yards last season, 15.4 a catch, 4 touchdowns. Very nice weapon for the Wolfpack. Number 3, another portal guy. We've got Tanner Kazol of Houston. He comes over from Ball State after a brief stop at Wisconsin. He was all MAC at Ball State last season, 839 yards, 8 touchdowns. Got good hands. Willie Fritz will definitely use him, I would hope. Number 2, another transfer, Matt Clare of Ohio State. He comes over from Purdue, where the last 2 years he was clutch for the Boilermakers. He had 881 yards, 4 scores, 12 yards per catch average. And finally, my number 1 tight end entering the preseason. It's weird to have a Vanderbilt player number 1 in anything, but hey, this cat earned it. Eli Stowers of Vanderbilt, 638 yards, 5 touchdowns, 13 yards per catch. Expected to could have another big season, and right now looks to be the best tight end in the SEC, but we'll see how it goes. But he's really, really good. Okay, so that's tight ends, and now we're going to move over to wide receivers, to their fellow mate at receiver. Let me find that real quick since I can't. There we go. All right, so G5 best receiver, we go up to Arkansas State where Corey Rucker had a 1,000-yard season last year, 7 touchdown catches, 15 yards per catch, second team All Sun Belt. Cool to see him back. I know Butch Jones is happy. At number 10, we got Aaron Anderson of LSU, 884 yards, 5 scores, 14.5 yards per catch. You can bet Garrett Newsomeyer is going to get the ball to his favorite returning target. At number 9, we've got Denzel Boston of Washington, 834 yards, 9 touchdowns last year, 13.2 yards per catch. Nice little weapon there. At number 7, we've got Cam Coleman, who's at Auburn. He returns for after posting 598, 8 touchdowns, 16 yards a catch average. Should be another one of the SEC's best. We'll see how Jackson Arnold does with him. At number 6, another one of the country's best, we got Antonio Williams of Clemson. I think I might have. Yeah, Antonio Williams of Clemson. I'm sorry, he's at number 7. Did I shuffle this? Hang on here. I think we might have a technical glitch. My apologies. Okay, so Aaron Anderson is 10, Boston is 9. Cam Coleman is number 8. I'm sorry, I see we skipped a number. Cam Coleman's number 8. I apologize. Antonio Williams is number 7. He returns after posting 900 plus yards, 11 touchdowns, 12 yards per catch. He'll have a big year. Ahead of him at number 6, we got Cornell Tate of Ohio State returning after a 700 plus yard receiving season, 14 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. The new quarterback will be very glad to have him. Number 5, we got Elijah Surratt of Indiana, one of the returning stars from that unbelievable Indiana team that, yes, question their playoff resume all you want, but he was still a good player. 957 yards, 8 touchdowns, 18 yards per catch. Their new quarterback from Cal will be very happy to have him. Just above him at number 4, a portal guy, we got Eric Singleton Jr. of Auburn. He comes over from Georgia Tech, where he had 22 starts, 1,468 yards, 14 yards a catch. Was a great player for the Jackets, and now expected to carry on with Auburn and be a great player. So Jackson Arnold's got some receivers. We'll see if he can get the ball to him. At number 3, Jordan Tyson of Arizona State. This young man had an 1,100-yard season, 10 touchdowns, 14.7 yards per catch. Sam Levitt, I'll be happy to have him. Number 2, we got Ron Williams of Alabama, obviously. 865 yards, 8 touchdowns, 18 yards per catch. Should have a big year. And then finally, I don't think this one was a surprise either. Jeremiah Smith of Ohio State, number 1, 1,315 yards, 15 touchdowns, 17 yards a catch, second-team All-American. Expected to lead what will obviously be a stacked wide receiver room at Ohio State, a.k.a. wide receiver U, as they like to be called, which they've earned that title. But anyway, so here's my top 10 wide receivers and my G5 best. All right, 2 more spots to go. We're going to move on and head to the running back room. Let me find my running backs list. I'm getting some slurs on this. Here we go. Okay. So top 10 and G5 best running backs. Our best of the G5. AJ, I hope I said that right. AJ Henderson of Buffalo, all conference last season. 1,000-yard rusher, 9 touchdowns, 5.3 yards a carry. Plus had 200 plus yards receiving, so he can also catch the ball. At number 10, we've got a transfer, Ahmad Hardy of Missouri. Pretty sure most of you probably did not see this cat play last year when he was at Louisiana Monroe. Dude had 1,351 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns, 5.7 a carry. Now, obviously, moving up in competition, going from Monroe to Missouri, from the Sun Belt to the SEC. But going to be a nice weapon. And Missouri will be very glad to have him in their backfield. All right, number 9. Desmond Reed of Pitt, who we talked about on our all-purpose rankings earlier. Again, 962 rushing, 5 touchdowns, 5.3 a carry. Plus 500 plus receiving yards, 4 touchdowns. He'll be all over the field for the Panthers this coming fall. Number 8, we got another transfer, Jaden Ott of Oklahoma, who comes in from Cal, where the last 3 years he had 32 starts, ran for over 2,500 yards, almost 5 yards a carry. He was Cal's offense, but now he gets to be a part of what's already a pretty stacked Oklahoma running back room. At number 7, we've got Jamal Haynes of Georgia Tech. I don't know where I got Texas Tech from, but Jamal Haynes of Georgia Tech, 900 plus yards last year, 5.6 a carry, 9 touchdowns, and he also caught 3 touchdowns. The combination of him and Haynes King will make Georgia Tech's offense, of course, lethal again this fall. So we'll see what happens there. But he is definitely one of the better returning backs. Number 6, Jonah Coleman of Washington, 1,000-yard rusher last year, 10 touchdowns, 5.5 a carry. And before that, in 2022 and 2023, he had a 1,200-yard rushing career in 2 years at Arizona. And then, of course, he followed Jed Fish to Washington. Number 5, part of the 1-2 trio at Penn State, we got Katron Allen. He has a 1,100-yard rusher, 5 yards a carry, 8 touchdowns, also caught a couple of scores. Number 4, a name that we talked about earlier, also on the all-purpose players list, we got Isaac Brown of Louisville, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 7.1 a carry. Number 3, Micaiah Hughes of Oregon. He is obviously another transfer. He comes over from Tulane, where in 2 years at Tulane, he rushed for 2,779 with a 5.3 yards per carry average. He was a stud at Tulane. Now can he be a stud at Oregon? We shall see. Number 2, Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame, 1,125 yards, 17 touchdowns, 6.9 yards a carry. Phenomenal running back. Also caught a couple of scores. And finally, my preseason number 1 running back, Nicholas Singleton of Penn State. He was also on the all-purpose list. 1,000-yard rusher, 12 touchdowns, 6.4 a carry. Also 5 touchdown catches, 375 receiving. The combination of him and Katron Allen give Penn State the best 1-2 running back combo in the country entering the season. All right, guys. So finally, we got one more group to go. I think y'all know who that is. The quarterbacks. So here we go. My G5 best quarterback entering the season is Blake Horvath of Navy, the leader of Navy's wing T offense. He had 1,353 yards passing last season, 13 touchdowns, only 4 picks, completed almost 58% of his passes. When's the last time Navy had 1,000 yards passing in a season? Was I even alive? I think I was a kid. But anyway. Also, you throw in 1,246 yards rushing, 17 touchdowns. That accounts for 2,599 in total offense and 30 touchdowns entering from last season. So, and obviously, look, Navy's wing T offense, which is a combo of triple option meets pro meets spread, is very hard to stop. All right, number 10, my number 10 quarterback, DJ Lagway of Florida. He obviously came in late last year, but 6-1 as a starter. Led them to ranked wins over LSU and Ole Miss, 1,900 yards passing, 12 scores. Also a very explosive runner for the Gators. His potential is enormous, and I expect a big season out of him. Number 9, we've got Carson Beck of Miami, the Georgia transfer. 3,485 passing, 65% completion percentage, and 28 touchdowns. My thing about Carson Beck, he's got all the talent in the world. But is he at Miami to get better as a player and win? Or is he there to drive his Lamborghini, get his check, and just be famous? We'll see. All right, number 8. Rocco Beck of Iowa State. Overlooked, but they're not on my list. Number 8, Rocco Beck, Iowa State. 3,505 passing, 59% completion percentage, 25 touchdowns, 318 rushing, 8 touchdowns. So 33 total scores last year and 3,800 yards of offense. Dude is so clutch for Iowa State. Number 7, we've got a transfer, and it won't be on this show, so I'll go ahead and tell you he's my number 1 player from the transfers for this coming season. John Mateer of Oklahoma. Last year at Washington State, 31-39 passing, 29 touchdowns, 826 rushing, 15 scores. Cat had close to 4,000 total yards last season and 44 total touchdowns. I know Washington State's not Oklahoma, but his offensive coordinator's coming with him this season too to OU, so I think John Mateer is going to be a guy to watch and going to be a treat to watch for the Sooners. At number 6, we've got Sam Levitt of Arizona State. This is one of the Big 12. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I skipped Lenore Sellers. I apologize. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I can't move into this. Let me get to Lenore Sellers real quick. He's my number 7. 25, 34 passing, 18 scores, 66% completion percentage. Also rushed for 674, 7 touchdowns. One of the country's more exciting players entering the season. John Mateer's number 6. And then at number 5, we got Sam Levitt of Arizona State. 28, 85 passing last year. Completed 61% of his passes, 24 scores. Also run for 443 and 5 touchdowns. Looks to be the Big 12's number 1 quarterback entering the season in a league that has got a bunch of good quarterbacks. At number 4, we got Arch Manning of Texas. It's Arch's time. Last year in 2 starts, he threw for 939, 9 touchdowns. Also run for 4 touchdowns. But now, he's the guy. No Quinn Ewers. It's Arch's time. Does he live up to the hype? We shall see. He's a Manning, so I think he will. Anyway, number 3. Drew Aller of Penn State, 33-27. He had 66 completion percentage, 24 scores, 8 picks, also 6 touchdowns on the ground, so 30 total scores. Had a costly mistake in the playoffs last year against Notre Dame, but still NFL prospect, really good player, and I expect he's going to have a big last season at Penn State. My number 2 quarterback is Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. 4,000-yard passer, 29 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, also 64% completion percentage. Maybe my preseason Heisman favorite. We'll see. And finally, the number 1 quarterback on my list, Cade Klubnik of Clemson. This cat threw for 36-39, 36 touchdowns, only 6 picks, 63% completion percentage. Rushed for 463 yards, 7 touchdowns, so 4,000 plus yards, 43 total touchdowns for the Tigers last season. Has gotten better each year, to me it seems, and now expected to get Clemson back to where they're supposed to be in their eyes, and that's contending for a national championship. So that is it, guys. That's my top 10 quarterbacks and G5 best, and that's all my positions. So we made it through that. All right, we're going to take one final break, and when we come back, we're going to do our non-football segment and plus let you know what's coming next week. So we'll be back in just a minute.
To hate Andrew Anderson, spitting truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast like a punch right to your face. College sports villain, taking it over the place. I bring the facts whether you like it or not. Dropping truth bombs, giving it all I got. They call me a villain. Well, I wear that badge with pride. Nothing but secrets they try to hide. Hard rock in my veins, rebellious to the core. I won't back down, won't take it anymore. The bad guy of the podcast world, that's me. Unleashing the truth, setting it all free. Unleashing the truth.
All right, guys, welcome back to 4th and 25 with Jrams. Great show today. A little longer than what I normally do, but we had a lot to get into. So, all right, one thing we do at the end of my show, at least every week, we do my top 5 somethings, or we talk about something non-football related. So for this week, we're going to do my top 5 barbecue meats. I'm a barbecue guy. I love barbecue. Probably shows, but it is what it is. I'm a barbecue enthusiast. So I took my 5 favorite meats and did a ranking. And they're all good, but here we go. So number 5, I love smoked sausages. We've got a place around here called Drake's Barbecue that does really good smoked sausages. My dad actually does pretty good cooking them too, and so does my fiance. Smoked sausages, really, really good, especially spicy ones. But that is my number 5. At number 4, smoked chicken, barbecue chicken. This is tenders, I think, in this picture, but man, you get good barbecue chicken. Ooh, son, you talk about good. Love me some chicken. All right, at number 3, brisket. Look at that smoke ring. Oh man, you get some good sliced brisket. Oh, I really want to go to Texas and get some. 'Cause it sounds like that's the #1 state to go for the brisket. But good smoke ring, so good, so tender, can be tender, melt in your mouth, so delicious. All right, number 2. Who doesn't love a good pulled pork sandwich? If you're a pork enthusiast, this one's got coleslaw on it, but um, yeah, pulled pork is delicious. We have a place about 30 minutes from here that sells some of the best melt in your mouth pulled pork sandwiches ever up in Grenada. It's called Jake and Ribs. Really good pulled pork sandwich, sweet barbecue sauce, so good. You cannot beat a good pulled pork sandwich. Except for me, at number 1, ribs. I love ribs. These look amazing in this picture. Too bad I can't jump through the screen and eat them right now. But ribs with a good sauce or no sauce. You can eat them really good with or without sauces. Pull, shoot, I like to cut them, hold the bone, and go to town on them bad boys. But I love me some ribs. So, alrighty. So just one last time, in case y'all are curious, this is the top 5 barbecue meats for me. Number 5, smoked sausage. Number 4, chicken. Number 3, brisket. Number 2, the pulled pork sandwich. And number 1, barbecue ribs. Alright guys, great show today. Man, this is the most people I've ever had watching at one time. I'm surprised. Thank y'all for tuning in, guys. I greatly appreciate y'all so much. Alright, so next week's show, gonna try to be Saturday or Sunday, but next week's show, we're gonna do top 10 team unit rankings, like top 10 linebacking rooms, top 10 offensive lines, top 10 defensive lines, running back rooms, things like that. Instead of players, it'll be team rankings for the position groups. And then we will do, if there's any news or notes or anything that comes along that catches our attention, we'll do that. And then we'll come up with a non-football segment and let y'all know later in the week about that. I got 2 more shows, guys. They're going to be on the weekend. So we're going to do next week's on Saturday, hopefully, or Sunday. And then we'll do one more the following weekend. And then I'm going to go dark for a little bit. I will return on August 20th with my season preview prediction show. Might even have my first guest if I can get him on board. All right, fellas. So thank y'all so much. And we're also going to do NFL player rankings. I think that's going to be not next week, but the week after. But we'll get it all lined up for you. So appreciate y'all tuning in. I think I got to 31 viewers. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. And as always, I close my show with a Bible verse. We're going to close with Genesis 1 verse 3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The Creator, let there be light on this earth. Alright, fellas. Thank y'all to everybody that watched me today. I appreciate y'all so much. Again, thoughts and prayers are with the people in Texas and everybody that's dealing with all this flooding right now. It is absolutely insane. Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you.